Is there a more perfect example of unending conflict than Tom and Jerry? The cat and mouse duo have been going longer than most wars, 79 years exactly, which is the same amount of time as the Spanish conquest of Petén. Besides the mind-boggling number of TV episodes and short films since 1940, there's also an astounding number of video games featuring them. It seems the premise of cartoon slapstick violence never gets old, and let's hope it never does. This is one of the times when my nostalgia has taken me back somewhere pleasant. If there is a person alive who doesn't muster a chuckle at Tom and Jerry, then call the funeral home, they're legally dead. Housetrap on the PlayStation 1 ditches everything but the core idea about the cartoon. Beat the shit out of Tom and puts you in a split-screen brawler, or trap 'em up as apparently it's called. You lay traps, throw things and club each other with melee weapons, and oh boy, is there a lot of weaponry in this game. The environmental traps are works of comedic genius, the same type you see in the cartoons, and it's extremely satisfying to look down at Tom's half of the screen and see him walking into a trap that one of you set. The throwing weapons vary between incredibly entertaining, like the fishbowl or the iron, to the kind of mundane and dull, like throwing an apple or a book, just meh. The placeable traps are all pretty damn entertaining, but it takes a particularly fiendish mind to use these effectively. Beginner level is placing these traps in doorways so Tom walks right into them when he enters the room. More advanced users will place them near environmental traps so he walks into both of them. And then there's just being a total fucking dickhead, picking up every trap in the house and placing it along a corridor, making a gauntlet for Tom to try and traverse. Not gonna lie though, this is hilarious. Next there's the melee combat, which is pretty hit or miss. Jokes aside, the melee combat is a fiery pimple on Satan's backside. It's so unpredictable and difficult. You feel like you're violently flailing around trying to make contact with something, but you just can't seem to. If Tom is stationary, then he's obviously much easier to hit, but if he's moving, your odds have just dropped to like a 10% chance. And what's more irritating is Tom uses it so well. He's like Steven fucking Seagal with melee weapons, but his AI is so stupid that if you stand in certain parts of the house, he'll just run around in circles, or more hilariously, just keep walking into traps he set himself. It's really jarring when this blundering idiot comes at you with a burning hatred of a neutron star and hits so perfectly and so quickly that you aren't even a fucking challenge to him. To keep the game spicy, they changed the rooms of the house you have access to and the items within those rooms as the game progresses. However, they don't have a single level that lets you explore all the rooms at the same time, which seems like a missed opportunity. Also, to keep things exciting, there's 4 special levels. The first sees Jerry trying to stop Tom from cooking baby ducklings, the second sees Tom trying to stop Jerry from waking up Spike, and the fourth sees Jerry trying to ruin Tom's love life by throwing various gifts into the trash. You basically have 3 chances to accomplish your goal without Tom foiling your plans to win the level. You can still pull sick pranks on each other whilst doing this, but it's kind of a waste. If Tom gets one of the items before you, he'll bolt it to his goal, and if you can get him with a melee weapon before he gets there, he'll drop it, but it's better to just start looking for the next one. Then there's the third one, Mechanicat. Mechanicat is the most brutal, unforgiving, and straight-up dickish foes you'll meet in this game. He's a cold, uncaring, mouse-exterminating machine. Whilst Tom is just some dope you have to outsmart, Mechanicat is a ruthless bastard you have to bring down by using every tool at your disposal, all of the tricks you've learnt thus far, and every ounce of your willpower to not just shut the damn game off, because if you do, he's won. The easiest way to defeat Mechanicat is by grabbing some melee weapons and going off to the second floor master bedroom, setting off the clockwork mouse and trying to hit him before the mouse runs out of steam. This is much easier said than done, but over the years I've gotten much better at it. Mechanicat is pretty much the final challenge of the game, or at least he should have been. The level after this is ruining Tom's love life, and that's the final level. The whole game can be done in just under an hour, but there's multiplayer and that's a blast as well. This is easily one of my favourite PlayStation 1 games, and it never fails to get a few laughs out of me as I reveal I was the dickhead who set up the gauntlet every time. Thank you all for watching, like and subscribe, blah blah XOXO.